Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
So there are a couple of words that I would like to share with you in regards to caveat emptor. Last holy day, I discussed having a purpose. I discussed knowing the spirit of Allah within you, recognizing and identifying the spirit of Allah within you. And within knowing and identifying the spirit of Allah within you, recognizing that we all have a purpose. We may not necessarily know our significant purpose or our individual purpose, but we are surrounded by those that have one thought in mind, and that is to perpetuate this Moorish Divine and National Movement. With that being said, our Prophet has called on us to be vanguards of this movement. What is a vanguard? A vanguard is one that is on the front line. A vanguard is a protector. A vanguard is essentially an angel guarding the gates. Our Prophet mentions our movement being fortified by the unpregnable doctrine of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So when we talk about this ideal of a fort, essentially there are four sides to a fort. We know that this can be a parable to our symbol, the circle 7, if you will, where we have this fort, and within it we have the number 7 of the perfected man. That is the ideal. That is the cusp, if you will, of what we hold to be our nationality, our divine principles. It's that perfect man on the plane of manifest. And it is our job as Moorish Americans, as card-carrying members of this Moorish Divine and National Movement, to protect the ideal of the perfected man, of the man that is one with Allah. Islam, family? So my question that I ask is, along with love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, how do we quantify, if you will, being vanguards? We say, operating on love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. But how can we break that down in a pragmatic sense? To be a vanguard, you must first be a preserver. In Al-Islam, in the degree of the Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings be upon him, we call a Hafiz. Hafiz is the preserver. They are the ones that memorize the Quran of Mecca. If you go over to Saudi Arabia and in parts of the world where Islam is the national religion, if you will, and within that culture you have Hafiz contests to see who memorizes, who knows the most of the words of Allah. But why is it that we have, or why is it that they have the Hafiz? They have the Hafiz because they recognize the importance of the word of Allah, the holy and divine gospel. They recognize that. They recognize that not a word can be lost in that sense. In order to be what you know, you must know the thing. It says, know thyself and thy Father God Allah. So we have to be preservers of the word of Allah that was brought to us by our Prophet Noble Ali, alayhi salam. Second, we must be protectors of it, protectors of the movement. So once we identify and we know and we're able to preserve it the best way that we can, the next thing that we do, it is our duty to protect the word. to protect the gospel, to protect this holy and divine movement, this divine and national movement. How do we protect it? By ensuring that no one, as the prophet says, the smelly culprits, the scurrilous and cunning, can come in and damper what we're looking to build up. When we are able to identify those that do not have the interests of our Moorish divine and national movement in mind, we have to, quite frankly, put them in their place. We have to let them know that this is a pure movement, a holy movement, a movement as to which no one is able to infiltrate, no one is able to destroy. We know from our studies that how the Moors fell, it was from the inside.
That's right.
It wasn't from the outside. It wasn't someone that was, quote unquote, that came in and mesmerized and tricked our minds. It was broken down from the inside. When you're sick, it starts from the inside. Someone comes in and is able to infiltrate your system. And then you start to break down. That's how we fail. So what do you have to do? You must protect your body.
Yes, sir.
You must protect the body.
Yes, sir.
That is the only way that we are able to ensure that we are strong.
That's right.
If the head is strong, then the body will be strong. And our head is the prophet, by way of Allah. Islam, family?
Islam.
So again, what does it take to be a vanguard of this movement? First thing we must do is we must preserve. Preserve the word of Allah. Preserve the words of our prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Then we must protect it. Then we must project it.
Islam.
In other words, be what you know.
Yes, sir.
Our prophet tells us in our divine constitution and bylaws that we are to teach our people their nationality and creed.
That's right.
We often are familiar with the definition of what nationality is.
Right.
But if we were to sum it up, if we were to make it practical, if we were to make it simple, we know that nationality is an ideal.
Right.
So how do we promote this ideal?
Okay.
We promote this ideal by the mindset that we have, the collective mindset that we have.
Yes, sir.
I want to share something with you. So recently I made a trip to Brooklyn. And I'm always fascinated by Chinatown. One reason I'm fascinated by Chinatown is because of how they demonstrate Al-Islam. But the second reason is, no matter where you go throughout the world, the ideal of China is represented.
It's true.
I'm gonna tell you something. It's been a while since I've been to Manhattan, but I kid you not, when I saw a Popeye's chicken in Chinatown,
All right.
it blew my mind. Not only did I see a Popeye's chicken in Chinatown, the words Popeyes was written in Cantonese. And interestingly enough, I didn't see our people in the Popeyes. I saw their people there. I didn't have time to look at the menu. I wanted to see if there was anything specific to the menu. But they understood that even if they had to try out this concept of fried chicken, of Louisiana fried chicken, if you will,
Right.
they still had to make it theirs.
That's right.
They still had to maintain their identity.
That's right.
So when we talk about this concept of nationality, we're not losing anything.
That's right.
We're gaining. We're improving. We're evolving. We're evolving our standards based on our lifestyle here in America. So that means it's going to integrate. It's going to be interpolated, if you will.
Yes.
Never assimilate, because you will always maintain. They still have that ideal. Nonetheless, you are Chinese. If you're a Christian, if you're a Buddhist, if you're Islam, if you're a Muslim rather, you will be Chinese at the end of the day. That is why I study them. But going back to this, to the Moors, the Moorish American concept, projecting the ideology of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice is of the utmost importance.
Yes, sir.
And to do that, we must make sure that we mimic the Prophet in thoughts, in speech, and in action.
Yes, sir.
So every time you step out that door, you have to ask yourself, how am I emulating the Prophet? I'm pretty sure most of us have a mirror when we go outside, when we go in our room. Are you upright like the Prophet? How is your speech? Are you speaking in an intelligent tone? Or are you projecting folly? Do you have reason on your tongue? Do you have resolve? Or do you have what they would call chaos, confusion? When you demonstrate, as you will, is it in the spirit of love?
All right.
Are you giving hope? Because if you can't give your people anything else, you have to give them the possibilities of man.
That's right.
Islam.
They have to perceive that deific life. If you're not presenting to them that there's another way, that there's another way to desolate from desolation, that there's salvation amidst the cares of the world, if you will, then we have to go back and study. This is how we are to fortify ourselves from that unpregnable doctrine. This is how we are to demonstrate in our catechism being those angels that keep away the unbelievers and those who accept those teachings.
Islam.
This is not just parables or lofty teaching. This is a way of life.
Yes, sir.
We are all vanguards of this Moorish divine and national movement in our own right.
All right.
That's right.
So we have to continue that legacy. Our Prophet left us an estate that we must pass on. Islam, family?
Islam.
Allahu Akbar.
حي على الصلاة